It's not often that we can bring you a match that involves two unbeaten teams, and certainly this Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools match here in Paarl. Paarl Boys High School up against Grey College, numbers 1 and 2 in South Africa at school level this season. Paarl Boys High finished last year as the #1 rugby school in the country, and well, we have something very special here. There's Pitt May. He's the supporter, the lucky charm of the Grey team, and he follows them everywhere. Works for the Free State Cricket Union. And where's the number 23, which used to be the first man who was not playing, but of course 23 players are now actually in play, so they should maybe put a 24 on his back, although there's a couple of others that might also come onto the field with those numbers. So Paarl Boys High, built in 1968, so one of the oldest schools in South Africa, and they've produced, well, 19 players, actually 20 players for South Africa, Frans Malherbe being the last one to represent the Springboks. Coupled with that, 21 SA Schools players too, and 3 last year. So the rugby is alive and well in Paarl. It's a lovely day today, absolutely perfect. Coolish this morning, and the maximum temp's not going to worry the players, and certainly not the spectators either. And of course the old boys and, well, their wives, their spouses, their girlfriends, whatever it might be, are always out in big numbers at this particular fixture. Well, the coaches as well, Sean Erasmus and Elmo Wolfart for Paarl Boys High. Have a look at that. Well, history counts for nothing, despite the fact that Grey College have really had it over Boys High in those 31 odd fixtures. That's the Grey College team then. Gideon Beekers captaining the team. He's got experience, having played Craven Week last year for Free State. And, well, their question will be around their forwards. They've got some very good players in their team. They do love a high-paced game, and they're struggling a little bit with injuries at the moment. But Paarl Boys High, well, they've got 2 cracking players in their side, Salman Murat and Manny Ras from SA Schools last year. But if you look through their team, there are not too many weaknesses in that team, and a lot of skill and a lot of ability. They play in a very structured way, do Paarl Boys High. So it's quite an interesting mix there of a high-paced game played by Grey College and the structure and organisation of Paarl Boys High. Both teams then, one having played 10, one having played 11, unbeaten this season, and that in itself makes this a potential humdinger, where we've got a wonderful playing surface too, because quite often it's pretty wet here. But we've got the build-up at the moment, and well, the Grey College boys are certainly all smiles at the moment as their support team comes out. We might call them the support team, the cheerleaders. And a wonderful tradition. Since 1894, Grey College have won 89% of the matches that have been recorded. That's a phenomenal statistic. And as we said a little earlier, yes, history counts for nothing, but boy, that shows you there's a wonderful tradition in this school. And that, of course, puts pressure as well on the players now. The players coming out today, they know there's a big history and a very, very powerful history before them. So Wessel du Plessis is the coach of the Grey College team, also with a lot of experience right now. Certainly the Grey College, the Paarl Boys High recent form, if we have a look at that too, it's been exceptional. Grey College have scored over 50 points in 9 of their 10 matches, so, or rather over 48 points. So absolutely they've annihilated the opposition, including Garsfontein, who've got a fantastic team this year, winning that game by 31 points to 13. For Paarl Boys High, it's been a little bit more measured in terms of what they've achieved. From a success perspective, some of their games have been a little bit closer than Grey College, but as we said, really, for the 3rd time, that doesn't count for anything on the day. So while we're waiting for the teams to come out, alongside me today, as ever, is former Rondebosch fly half, Gareth Wright. And Gareth, we couldn't have asked for a better spectacle today. And you know a lot of these players quite intimately too. You know, who are the key players that you feel in these 2 teams that could make a difference today?
Oh, thanks, Kevin. This is 1 versus 2 in the country. If you look through the team sheets, it's going to be up front. If the Grey side can hold on to the ball and just use that turnover ball and starve this Paarl boys side of possession, particularly Salman Marat and the other forwards that come around the corner. It's like a tsunami, and they just keep coming and coming. If they can contain Kusana Marat and of course Reese Besaidnout, who's been mentored by Frans Malherbe, their last Springbok at the school, I think they're in for a good chance. For Grey College, well, they'll need Deon Skoonies to lead their charge from number 8, and look out for Rian Kriya, really reminiscent of his namesake, who is playing for Ulster and represented the Springboks in Ruan Pienaar, and he's a wonderful scrum. He's got an electric break, and if he can get his side going and going forward in terms of his decision making, I just think Grey College are going to break this 30-match unbeaten streak of Paarl boys.
Well, that it certainly is. 30 consecutive matches that they've won, Paarl boys high. And of course, in this little town, there's a wonderful tradition, because Paarl Gymnasium just down the road are the number 3 team in the country at the moment, so they're a real stronghold down here in the Western Cape. Well, this stadium is absolutely packed too, as it always is for these big games, and people love their rugby in this part of the world. You mentioned Salman Marat, Gareth too, and the lineouts in particular have been a strong function of Paarl boys. Francois Pretorius, 32-year-old from Hermanus High School, but he works in Somerset West as a strategic marketing consultant. He's our referee for today's match, and he was telling us that he actually put his hand up for this game. He had a free weekend, but he said, I want to do a game, and he asked the union, the Western Province Rugby Union, if they had a game for him. So that's wonderful, isn't it, that referees are looking for work.
And it's great to see him in charge of a massive schoolboy clash. He's got Currie Cup experience, he knows how to handle young men, and of course I think he'll do a sterling job this afternoon.
Well, he also said that there'll be a few areas that require policing, but outside of that, the discussions he's had, there'll be fierce contesting at the breakdown, because both teams want that, and he wants to try and make sure that he gives the game the full advantage that's possible. Christopher Schroeder then with the kick in. Kanyang Kusane is another man who's a strong part of this Paarl boys high pack of forwards. Over the top from Michael Visser. Well taken by David Creel. And a long pass out there from Schroeder. Could be some real tests as well, one feels, for Grey College in the midfield, for Janke van Heinigen and Rikus Pretorius up against Manny Rass and Henry van Heerden. That could be a really interesting matchup. Schroeder on to big Rikus Pretorius. This is the breakdown we were talking about. Grey College doing well on that occasion. Was that a forward pass? No call from the assistant referees. Sun is straight into Johnny Lombard's eyes. Very exciting rugby player, this fella. Scored a multitude of points this season already, but this time wrapped up by Grey College defenders.
Play on.
Carry up coming from Reese Besaidnout.
Number 2, ball's never out, offside.
Clear message from Francois Pretorius.
Oh, both sides looking to put ball to boot early on, and the hooker from Grey College, Ruan Greiling, being penalised for offside, and just a chance to settle it down for Paarl boys in the form of their trusty fullbacks, boot Gianni Lombard.
Well, he's a very nippy runner, is this fella, and with a very, very good boot too, so a good all-rounder.
Of course, Gavin, he's a 110-metre hurdles athlete from Western Province, and he's got electric pace, and he'll want to get stuck in early. Now an opportunity for Marat to rule the line out.
Daniel Jooster with a throw-in. No real contest. Now Michael Visser over the top. Fielded by David Creel. Again in tandem with his fly half Schroeder. Charge from Henk now. Not too much room to move in there for Henk, but Grey College have done well. They've come back in field. That ball was available, but it's been knocked on. So it'll be a Grey scrum. And Grey maybe just want to try and get a little bit of ball in hand. They haven't really had much as of yet, and feeling the pressure a little bit.
Well,
The restart was a high-hanging one from the fly-off in the form of Schroeder. And then just coughing up possession at the breakdown. Of course, it's going to be fiercely contested. Both sides with good ball fetches. And there's a pack way through. Look at that, 794 kilograms
Crouch.
for that 8 of Paarl boys.
Bind.
To the 789 of Grey College, so really nothing in it, and it comes down to technique at scrum time.
Yeah, not a small pack on either side. Schroeder opened up there to Janke van Heinigen. Very nice running from the fullback, David Kriel. And a lovely little switch in field. Real chance here for Manus Boshoff.
Play on.
Well, Paarl boys have done really well here. They ripped it away, but I'm not sure that they've still got it. Yes, they have. Visser now.
Touch.
That got touched by one of the Grey players, so everyone's on side.
Well, they've done well to avert that certain danger early on, but a real warning sign for Paarl boys. They held off on the outside on the defence, particularly Manny Rass, and that allowed the lanky fullback in Kriel to exploit the hole. And the red light signs will be flashing for Paarl boys.
Well, the lineouts are going really well for Paarl boys high. A couple of them, they've looked very secure, using Nkosana on that occasion.
Taken back.
Now the kick downfield from Rayon Lombard. He hasn't had many balls to play with at the moment. Boshoff. Manus Boshoff thinks a little bit about what he should do and then just turns on the burners. Here he goes. Very quick, this fella. He's a hard man to catch. Didn't have close-in support that he could have offloaded to on that occasion.
Holding on. First arriving
Well, that's
player.
part of the difficulty. If you get isolated, that there's no one to provide the support for you, then you tend to hold on to the ball.
What a run coming in from the diminutive left wing, Manus Boshoff, and then the work done by Frankie Horn at the breakdown, coupled with Lombard. And they've won themselves another penalty of Paarl boys. But Grey College look full of running. Manus Boshoff, well, he had a red letter day against Affis 2 weekends ago. You saw that game on your World of Champions where they put Affis to the sword away from home by 53 to 29. So running rugby is a order of the day for both these sides.
We're right at the back. Lineouts going well for Paarl boys. Opportunities to run at the backs. Lombard, no space for him to move. Counter-ruck came initially from Grey College, but there wasn't an opportunity.
Last feet.
So Van Heerden then getting that out quickly. Murat, part of the play. Here's Michael Visser. Waiting for it. Well, he's not going to get it because it's been turned over. That's great play by the men from Bloemfontein. We spoke about their ability to counter-attack. They like to create those turnovers and then run at the opposition. So it makes for a really interesting spectacle here this afternoon. Dion Squinney's very much part of that
Not
mix.
on your feet. Not on your feet. Play on.
Not a lot of room there for Janke van Heinigen to move in, but he's done well to set up the next phase. Carried up by Gideon Beekers. Schroeder from Pretorius, and I'd love to see David Kriel making a nuisance of himself, getting into the back line from the fullback position, creating the extra space. Things going well territorially for Grey College at the moment. But here's another turnover. Paarl boys high. Lombard with the kick into touch.
Well, they're winning the breakdown battle on the home side. But again, it's that free running of the back three of Grey College that are slicing Paarl boys open at will. And Paarl boys need to close their space down on the outside. Wonderful work by, this time, Takir Abrams at the breakdown for Paarl boys. Line outs well, 3 from 3. And now an opportunity for Grey College to have their first line out of this contest.
Marcel Tennyson and Jaco Fantona, the two big targets in their line-out. And they've also got Jongenskool that they can use too from the number 8 position. In fact, his father played for Paarl, his first 15 in Stellenbosch. So his family has ties with this part of the world. And it is in fact Jaco Fantona who's the target on that occasion.
Same all.
Held at the back there by Ruan Freiling. Bierkes bringing it out himself, the captain. There really is a lot of contesting at the breakdown. And now here is Grey College's opportunity.
Not now, captain. It's a second goal. You missed it first time.
Not dissimilar to that one from Paarl Boys High.
Well, again, it was the captain this time who infringed. He missed it on the first attempt, and then he had a second go. He was beaten by the ruck, and hence the penalty for Grey College. And now an opportunity for the visitors from Bloemfontein to level up matters. Of course, this contest last year ended in a 21-19 victory for Paarl Boys. Their first in Bloemfontein for many a year. The year before, it was Grey College who ran out winners by 15-10. So pretty even Stevens over the last 2 years.
Well, 11 minutes of the game, and Grey College is still not on the board as that slips past the right-hand upright. It was a pretty good strike that from Christopher Schroeder. So I think both kickers have shown that they 50 meters or less is potentially within their range. I'm just waiting for a ball now. Of course, they don't play rugby with only one ball. There's a couple of them with the ball boys on the sideline carrying in case one goes out of the stadium or elsewhere. Can't be quickly recovered. Ruben Krier, the little scrum half for Grey College, does neatly. Schroeder, they're getting a lot of ball now, Grey College. There's another break there from Rickers Pretorius. So the Grey Backs making a nuisance of themselves, finding some space. Well, is that another turnover?
Knock on.
And firstly, it's a knock-on, so it's a scrum advantage to Paarl Boys High. And then Manny Rast tries to find his way through.
Advantage over.
Some neat work there from Frankie Horn. Now down the line they go, their first real opportunity. Was that a deliberate knockdown, says the Paarl Boys High players. But no problem, says the referee. Let's continue. Taken down by Kanyan Kusane. Visser, Lombard, Murat, sleight of hand there, Salman Murat, good to see. There's Manny Rast. Lovely play from the outside centre. So they haven't been down here for a while, have Paarl Boys High. Deep into Grey College territory. Taken in by Besaidenout. And lost on the ground, so it'll be a Grey College put in.
Well, the ebb and flow of this game is something to behold as both sides running with a plum. Unfortunately, for the home side, it was just the slices of knock-ons. One full run by Manny Rast, showing his pedigree and his class as he darted in a good tackle coming in from Boshoff. And then it was quick ball that needed to go to hand for Paarl Boys. Unfortunately, there was a bit of miscommunication in the midfield and the move broke down. You see the loose head prop. Grey College getting some attention in the form of Tristan Spies, and he'll be placed momentarily, one would hope. And it's Nordia who's made his way onto the field.
So midfield scrum then provides some level of opportunity, even although it's from deep. Grey College have no issues with that. As we said, their counter-attacking, their running ability Doesn't really matter where they are on the field. Confidence in each other, belief in each other. So Schroeder. A little bit of space. I tell you what, this young man, Janko van Janiching, is a very neat little customer. Carries the ball well. He's not the biggest of fellas, but he's got good pace. Nice carry up here from Jaco van Tonder. Schroeder straight into a cul-de-sac on that occasion, tackled by Eugene Johannes. Not an enormous amount of space close to the touchline. Again, it's Jaco van Tonder. And lovely play here from scrum half Rivan Creer. He's made such valuable meterage there now.
Another one.
Quick ball for Grey College is the order of the day. And it's very slow in coming. In fact, might even have been turned over. So it has. All the time in the world for Lombard to pick his spot and whack it downfield.
Well, Rian Creer is showing a break, and just in the back of your picture, Jaco van Tonder got hammered in the tackle by his namesake, Salma Murat. He's in trouble. He looks somewhat concussed. And I think his afternoon is going to come to an end. He wants to continue, but he's in no shape or form to carry on.
Well, he's bossing a few players around in the lineouts. Happy to keep going. Salman Murat is a big unit as well, 110 kilograms, 2 meters. Yep. But it's Grey College with another turnover, so the turnovers are starting to really get racked up here. That's Rickers Pretorius.
It's another good.
And another turnover. Wow.
Good contest.
We want to keep an eye on these turnover stats because they could be crucial at the end of the day. Well, play a little bit scrappy, but this is good application of advantage then. Francois Pretorius.
Advantage over.
On to Marcel Tienison. Tell you what, there's been some big hits from the Paarl Boys High players, and certainly have knocked players back in the tackle. There's always a great benefit for that too, because you're on the front foot. First opportunity for Nordia, and he's also thumped back in the tackle.
Grey lost in possession.
Well, Nordia trying to pick and go around the short side, being thumped back into the ruck. And there's been some stellar defense early on, as we saw the break from Rian Creer. And again at the breakdown, Paarl Boys have been tigerish in their efforts. And they certainly are thumping their opposition back at will. There's the tackles missed. Well, 3 by Grey College, 8 by Paarl Boys. That'll be a big concern. And if they continue to keep on defending Paarl Boys, they are going to tire somewhat in the second half.
I think those turnovers are even more of a worry, to be honest. They're probably pretty even at the moment between the two teams, but still, that's very often where points come from. In addition to missed tackles, Tienison. There's another huge tackle. Hit through from Nkusane. Now, Grey College, we know how good they are at counter-attacking. This time they've given away possession. Lombard, the long pass out to Manny Ras. He takes a bit of looking after, does Manuel Ras, South African schools player last year. Frankie Horn's done well. There's the little pop pass on that occasion to Daniel Jooster.
Play on, first arriving player.
There's another turnover, this time to Grey College.
Hands on the ball.
Rian Creer caught in possession.
Bracknell. Boys eye.
Schroeder, well, that's skewed off his boots somewhat, so the net result is not a great one for Grey College. They've been pushed back into their own half.
Well, that's criminal. Turnover ball, you want to move it. 2 passes, it's unstructured defense. And it was good work at the breakdown by Kloppers. He was the first arriving player, and he managed to get the turnover. Somewhat lucky, one might say, as he wasn't on his feet initially.
Another neat line-out ball for Paarl Boys High. Henry van Heerden rather, taking that ball in. Now Visser, it's a slow delivery for him, but they're going to get a penalty here, and it's slap in front for Paarl Boys High. Let's just hear the ref.
Sy tweede een, hy moet sy akkuraatheid beter reg kry. Die rak is gevorm en hy duidelik nog nie sy hand op die bal nie. Dan gaan hy die tweede keer. Rock clearly formed and then 6 hands in.
That's just cynical play by Kloppers. He's right in front of the referee. The ruck's clearly formed. His hands are in front. He's slowing the ball down, and he can probably count himself lucky he's not spending 10 minutes in the bin for a really cynical penalty. Slap bang in front. Discipline is the key, and his coach in the form of Wessel du Plessis will be disappointed with his open side flankers efforts there.
Well, distance was never going to be a problem for Lombard as that sails between the uprights. And it just seems like there's a little bit of a breeze that's picked up here at Brook Street in Paarl. Nothing maybe to worry about, but a little bit of a breeze, and it seems to be at the backs of Paarl Boys High.
Yeah, and they need to readjust their restart to Grey College. They've kicked it in the same place for the 3rd time.
Well, those balls in the air, as we know, the strength of Paarl Boys High with Irvi Loopsha and Salman Murat. We've seen it from their lineouts. Grey have got to contest more strongly with those balls in the air.
Advantage.
Rivan Kriya's done neatly. He's got Gideon Beerkes, his captain, at scrum half at the moment. Grey College decide, courtesy of Nordia to carry it up.
Offside in front of the kicker.
Well, the penalty's gone the way of Grey College, but one thing that must be going through their minds, Gareth, is that they are getting thumped back in the tackles, aren't they?
Well, it's a physical onslaught from the tight 5 of Paarl Boys that is really nullifying this Grey attack. And they're going to take the points on offer. And Schroeder will be wanting to knock it between the uprights. The lanky pivot.
Well, bear in mind, of course, that it's 35 minutes each way at school level. So we passed the halfway mark in the first half. Grey College desperate to get some points on the board. They've been so used to it this season. Well, it's just a little stab then. It is for Christopher Schroeder, and Grey College finally are on the board. Well, there in picture is Tiaan Strauss, who's the CEO of MegaPro and Premier Interschools Rugby, Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools. Good to have him also in Afrikaans commentary for a couple of minutes. And great that he's also applying back into the sport that he loves. So again, out comes little Janko van Heiningen, done really well there. Does he get the bounce? Brilliant play from the youngster. The bounce didn't favour him, and eventually it's Michael Visser with the kick downfield. And the little scrum half has done really well to have got his team out of absolute trouble there. But wasn't that a great break from Janko van Heiningen?
Well, van Heinigen's causing that backline of Paarl Boys endless headaches. Every time he gets ball in hand, he looks dangerous. And another scything break by the outside centre. Look at this, just a shimmy and then he's gone.
We said that could be a real matchup today, the two centre three-quarter pairs, and it certainly has been up to now. On that occasion, Murat unable to take that ball in the line-out, so it's the first line-out fault from Paarl Boys High in this game. Nordia. Well, here's another chance now. And as I said, there's a little bit of a breeze into Grey College.
To his second one as well. Yeah. You need to be more accurate when you contest the ball. Just lying on the wrong side, allowing your player to seal the ball.
Oh, just lying on the wrong side. The open side flanker, this time from Paarl Boys in Charles Sedain. And Francois Pretorius' patience is wearing somewhat thin at the breakdown now. Both fetchers are infringing when it comes to the breakdown, and you might just see the penalty given away he could produce a yellow card. Now, he's into the teeth of this ever-increasing wind is Schroeder, and he'll want to replicate his last effort at goal.
I tell you what, that's another good strike from Schroeder, but just wide. So into the slight breeze, no problem with distance once again. And really, I suppose that for the diehards, they don't really want to see a kicking contest only. But there's some great running from both sides and some good defense too. That's kept that score down where it is at the moment. Lombard, the deep kicking here to Marnus Boshoff. Just 17 years of age is Marnus Boshoff. Visser up for it. And he's done really well once again, yes. Little Michael Visser.
Into touch.
It's quite amazing in sport how people who maybe are outsized or outsped or whatever it might be find some other mechanism where they've got a greater strength than somebody else. And this fellow, just have a look how nippy he is here.
Well, he saved Paarl Boys' blushes for the second time in probably 10 minutes. As we just see Boshoff getting some attention after trying to compete for that contestable in the air. He's really shone up well this year as a young man. Boshoff full of energy, full of running. As we see former Springbok captain Corne Krige down at his old alma mater supporting his old school.
Yeah, that's great to see. He's still the only player to have captained South African schools and the country, South Africa.
Got to drive through the middle, clearly changing lanes.
So changing lanes there from Grey College. A message there from Francois Pretorius.
Gavin, you touched on the fact that Grey College were unbeaten, as we see, just changing lanes, a penalty. Unbeaten this season. Well, from 1985 to 1991, they had a run of 87 unbeaten games. It's something quite remarkable, and I don't think it'll be repeated.
Well, Paarl Boys are on their way. They've already got 30. 30 consecutives. Yeah, it's good to see, but it's also great to see the contest in a game that you really can't call that easily. It could go either way, and it looks still like that as things stand at the moment. Tian du Plessis, who's slipped onto the field. Didn't see him come on as a replacement. And he got quite heavily tackled on that occasion. Now Lombard. That's one of those little roller kicks which is right into the corner. Lovely kick from him. Not much Henk Cilliers could do with it.
A good reading of the play by Gianni Lombard, just deciding to take the game into the 22-meter area of Grey College. And good decision making by the fullback. It looks like Manny Rass has made his way off the field. No, he's still on.
Yeah, he's on there.
It's the inside centre then.
It's Henry van Heerden, I think, who might be off. We'll pick up on that now. But I tell you what, that Tian du Plessis is also limping substantially at inside centre right now. He looks, and he's already got his knee bound up. So the injuries that Grey College had coming into this game have been counted by those that potentially Paarl Boys High have at the moment. Over the top from Revan Krier. Very, very well covered by Taki Abrams. Johnny Lombard also looking for the good bounce. Well read by Revan Krier. I tell you, a nuggety, busy scrum half is a necessity in rugby these days.
Captain.
Really gets the team going. Communication and action. Back for it, Rass.
Rock! Play on.
Visser. Lombard. From a stand-start position, there's Salman Marat looking to carry it up. Oh, they've got some numbers here. Skasana. This is excellent play. Here comes the speedster. Can he get inside there? Abrahams belting down the line.
Well, Takir Abrams have broken the shackles down here at Brook Street as the small left winger has danced in for the opening try in this contest. Wonderful finishing by the man in the number 11 jumper. Good catching and passing, and Kusana prominent in the move, as was Sir Dane. And then look at the pace, carrying the ball in the wrong hand, but then darted off that left boot and had enough power and strength to belt in. But real concern for Paarl boys, as both these centres are receiving attention in the form of Russ and the replacement in Du Plessis. And now, opportunity for Lombard to continue his 100% kicking record.
Spasie is nou 'n bietjie beter. Spasie.
Tell you, that's a really good whack that from Lombard, but not straight enough, unfortunately. But that little fella there, well, you used the word, Gareth, dancing, because he literally danced down that touchline.
Good drawing of the man and passing, and then he just had too much pace for everybody. The cross cover in the form of Schroeder was not enough, and he's got in for his try, has little Takir Abrams.
Over the top from Visser. And it's gone directly into touch, so they'll come back into the Paarl boys' high half of the field. At the moment, we can tell you that Tian Du Plessis has received treatment. He's going back to the inside centre position, but he is limping badly. And it's about another 4 minutes to half-time. Great College cleverly using the back of the line out. Good solid throw in there from Ruan Kreiling, who'll be 17 years of age next Saturday.
No, not in there.
Clear. Space there for Schroeder. Lovely run from Pretorius. This is much better from Great College. They're getting a little bit more rhythm now because they're getting a little bit more possession. And they're contesting heavily at the breakdown points too, so they've got a penalty here.
Offside. Got to retreat behind the last feet.
This is very kickable.
Offside.
Oh, Gavin, it is really kickable, but tactically I just think Great College have got it wrong. They need to speed up the game. They can't be running down the channels of Marat, Poseidonot and co. And that's exactly what they're going to try to do now.
So on they go then. The big charge coming from Skunis. Key question, in this sort of position, you really want to make sure that you score.
You missed that, Six. You missed that.
If you're getting quality enough ball, you've got to use it. Clear. Schroeder. Pretorius. The target man to try and break his way through. Well, it's been knocked on, and it's going to be a scrum to Paarl boys. A really good play by the home team. They didn't panic. They made sure that they were structurally organised in defence and forced the mistake on the visitors.
Dat is mooi hoor, jou initial contest is goed. Dan val je op je sy, dan moet je ophou speel. You never survive the contest there. Je moet ophou.
Just the inside centre, Rickers Pretorius set the breakdown, and then quick as a flash it was Manny Rest who came around and harassed, excuse the pun, the scrum off in Rian Kriya, and he's won his side a turnover in a vital position just before half-time.
Now David Creel has positioned himself right inside his own half of the field here in case there's a big kick downfield, he being the fullback of Grey College. But Grey really want to try and put pressure on the scrum now. It's not their put-in, but to give them poor delivery, or better still, to win the possession.
Well, Nordia needs to try get a left shoulder and stop Nkosana breaking and having a run at the fluff in the form of Schroeder. That'll set the target, give the 10 a better angle in Lombard to try and clear his lines.
That's a great scrum that from Grey College, but they haven't won the ball. Carried up there from Tian Du Plessis despite that gammy left leg of his. Now Lombard. That's a huge kick downfield. That's what you want from your fly half. If you're a member of the pack of forwards, you'll be giving that man a high five.
And as you look up, you trudging back towards your 10-meter line are Grey College just inside. In fact, it's the Paarl boys 10-metre line, and they'll want to make it count just before half-time. They have one more opportunity to try and get points on the board.
Well, there's the line-out dominance of Paarl Boys High. Once again, it's evident as they look to try and get a ball in motion.
Forward of a blue leg.
Lombard's kick well fielded by Creer. Tell you, the two little scrum halves, the two smallest men on the field, have certainly been two of the busiest. Well, that ball is now off the ground, so that'll be a scrum.
Where that ball can come out.
Referee feels they were going forward. Grey College, so they'll have the put in, and he's blown for half-time. It's 35 minutes up, and it's been the titanic struggle that we expected from these two wonderful schools that have such a great rugby history over the years. So confirmation then, here at Brook Street, Paarl Boys High 11, Grey College 3.